Let me ask you something. When was the last time you really stopped and thought, not just about keeping your kids safe and fed, but about the kind of person they're becoming? Because here's something most parenting content won't tell you. Dads have a totally unique impact on their child's development. Not better than mom. Not worse. Just different. And science says that difference matters more than you might think. In this video, I'm breaking down 5 specific things fathers can do, rooted in real psychology research, that quietly shape whether a child grows up confident, emotionally smart, and ready to take on the world. None of this requires a parenting degree. No weekend workshops. Just small shifts in how you already show up. Let's get into it. Tip 1. Get rough. Get loud. Get on the floor. My son literally cannot sit still for 5 minutes. He's running, jumping, crashing into everything. And honestly, I'm exhausted. Sound familiar? Here's the thing. That chaos you're trying to manage, it's actually one of the best classrooms your kid has access to. Research by Canadian developmental psychologist Daniel Paquette found that dads naturally gravitate toward what's called rough and tumble play. Wrestling, chasing, piggyback races, catching them mid-jump off the couch. It looks like pure mayhem. But underneath all that noise, your child is learning something incredibly sophisticated. They're learning how to control an impulse, how to read another person's limits, how to feel excitement without completely losing it. These aren't small skills. They're the foundation of emotional self-regulation and social intelligence. And here's what's really interesting. Dads tend to push just a little further than moms do. That extra notch, the okay, one more time, but higher moment, is where kids build real confidence. They learn what "I can handle this" feels like in their body. The science. Paquette's research shows that rough and tumble play builds impulse control, social awareness, and emotional regulation, outcomes typically associated with much more structured interventions. So the next time your kid is bouncing off the walls, don't fight it. Get in there. Be the safe version of the scary thing they're dying to try. Tip 2. Stop answering their questions. Dad, why does the moon follow us when we drive? What do you say? If you're like most parents, you explain it. Or you say, "I don't know, buddy," and move on. But there's a third option, and it's the one that actually builds a smarter kid. Ask them back. What do you think? A Harvard research team studying family conversations found that fathers use significantly more why, what if, and how come questions than mothers do. Not because dads are better, but because the conversational styles differ. And when they tracked outcomes, those kids showed stronger vocabulary development and sharper critical thinking. The mechanism is simple. When you explain, your child receives. When you ask, your child builds. There's a huge difference between a brain that stores information and a brain that actively constructs meaning. The science. A 2004 Harvard study found that fathers' question-heavy conversational style, using more why and what do you think prompts, was more strongly linked to children's vocabulary development than the total amount of talking. You don't have to know the right answer. You don't even have to pretend you do. "I honestly don't know. But what's your best guess?" is one of the most intellectually honest and powerful things a father can say. One question. That's the whole move. Tip 3. Let them struggle. Watch anyway. "Dad, I can't get this. Can you just do it for me?" Every instinct says, help them. Fix it. Make the frustration stop. But there's something more valuable than solving the problem, and it's staying close while they figure it out themselves. German psychologist Klaus Grossmann found something fascinating in attachment research. While mothers tend to function as a safe base, the place kids return to for comfort, fathers function more like a launch pad. They encourage kids to go further, try again, and face the discomfort of not quite there yet. This isn't about being tough or withholding help. It's about the message your presence sends. When a dad is physically nearby, Watching, calm, not panicking, a child reads that as, "This is survivable. I'm not in danger. I can try." The science. Grossmann's attachment research found that fathers who encouraged exploration and tolerated struggle, rather than immediately rescuing, raised children with higher self-efficacy and greater resilience in challenging tasks. You don't need a pep talk. You don't need to coach every move. A simple, "I see you working on it, keep going," is often all the fuel they need. Watching without fixing is one of the most underrated things a father can do. Tip 4. Let them see you learning something. Did you finish your homework? You better study. This stuff matters. We've all said some version of that, and it bounces right off. You know what doesn't bounce off? Watching you actually do it. The U.S. Department of Education's large-scale family research found that children in homes where fathers regularly read, study, or engage with learning, not just talk about its importance, showed measurably higher academic motivation and performance. Kids don't take cues from what we tell them to value. They take cues from what they see us spending time on. If your kid sees you pick up a book after dinner, look something up you didn't know, or talk excitedly about something you just figured out, they absorb a deep truth. Curious people keep growing. Smart people keep trying to get smarter. The science. Research consistently shows that a father's visible engagement with learning, not just verbal encouragement, is a stronger predictor of children's academic motivation, especially in boys who model same-sex behavior. This doesn't mean cracking open textbooks every evening. It means letting them catch you curious. Let them see the podcast you listen to on your commute. Tell them what you're trying to get better at right now. Show them, in the small moments, that learning doesn't stop when school ends. Your habits are their syllabus. Tip 5. Say the feeling out loud. My kid has no idea what I'm feeling. I'm not cold, I just don't know how to say it. That's one of the most honest things a father can admit. And here's the thing, you don't need to become a different person. You just need to say a little more than you usually do. Psychologist Ross Parks' research on father involvement showed something striking. Children whose fathers named their feelings out loud, not just acted on them, developed significantly stronger emotional regulation and empathy. The act of hearing a parent say, "I'm really proud of you right now," or, "Honestly, that worried me," gives a child a vocabulary for their own inner world. The science. Parks' research showed that fathers who verbalize their emotions, rather than suppressing or acting on them, raise children with better emotional intelligence, stronger peer relationships, and more nuanced self-awareness. Think about it. When your kid feels something big and confusing, they look around for a map. If you've given them one, by modeling what it looks like to say, "I'm frustrated," instead of just slamming the cabinet, they know where to start. This matters especially for boys, who absorb early on that emotions should be hidden. A dad who says, "That actually hurt my feelings," is doing something radical and powerful. He's giving permission. "That scared me. I'm really happy right now. I didn't love how that went. I need a minute." Not a therapy session, not a breakdown, just a few real words. That's it. That's the whole thing. So let's bring it all together. 5 things, rooted in actual science, that dads do differently, and that shape who kids become. Rough and tumble play builds emotional control. Questions beat explanations for building thinkers. Watching without fixing builds real confidence. Modeling curiosity teaches the value of learning. Naming your feelings gives kids an emotional roadmap. You don't have to do all 5 this week. Pick one. Try it. See what happens. The goal isn't perfection. Your kids aren't asking for that. They're asking for you to show up and mean it, even imperfectly. Because here's what the research keeps coming back to. It's not the grand gestures that stick. It's the 1,000 small moments, the question instead of the answer, the "I see you trying," the "I'm proud of you, and I wanted you to know that." Those moments become the foundation your kid builds their entire life on. If this resonated with you, drop a comment below. Tell me which one you're going to try first. And if you know another dad who could use this, share it with him. That's literally the whole point of this channel. I'm glad you're here. I'll see you in the next one.